It went right to YouTube. So is it like waiting?
Oh, what the hell?
I don't know. I just wondered.
Did it go YouTube or because we're live? We're live right now. Hey guys.
Oh what? Oh my gosh!
Hey,
I don't even.
we're testing something out, guys.
Don't do that!
We're trying to do Facebook. So if you guys are on Facebook right now, give us a hi so we can see if the comments is coming through Facebook. I'll try to see if we can work on that as well. But today, let's see. What do we, while you figure out Facebook, what are we talking about?
Oh yeah. So we're going to go dive deep into a DUI attorney, and I'm going to go over some of the 7 most common mistakes on Lambo's world.
I'm going to go talk about from arrest to action, how to keep your website content that drives calls.
From arrest to action, huh? I like the theme.
Arrested. There might be cocaine. There might be strippers involved. We're going to Denver. Hold
criminals,
on.
Criminals.
Okay.
We're criminals here. We're criminals.
Marijuana is legal in that state.
Hey, GBP roast. GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast. GBP roast. On your Google business profile. It's about to go down. We roasting and reacting. We ain't come to play. 20 years in SEO. JP, Lambo, and Dre. Bringing facts and guests. Oh, yeah, we bring the dopeness. Welcome to the show. Hope you're.
What happened?
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything. What the hell was that? All right, well,
I might have
let's get right into it. Let's get to our first reaction video.
Most business websites are completely messing this up. And yes, I'm talking to you, image_135. You upload a beautiful picture of a roof you just replaced in Dallas and you name it screenshot final 2 JPEG. And while Google might know more about you than your own family does, it's still not a human. So you gotta add some text, you gotta help it out a little. So rename it to Roof Installation Dallas before you upload it. And in the alt text, say something like asphalt roof replacement in Dallas, Texas. It takes 10 seconds and it actually helps you rank for local services, so there's no reason not.
Okay, so is he referring to the photo on the GBP?
No.
Because now what you're telling someone, take your phone, take a picture, now rename the file. No, you can't. You don't do that, right? Now, the alt image, right, that would be important, but Google is smart enough to know if a guy is with a hammer and they can see the horizon and they see someone doing something on a roof, it's probably related to a roof entities, right? So you don't necessarily need all the extras. There is a relationship to the file name and that alt as related to the website, right? We know that, but not when it comes directly to your GBP.
You know, I'm going to show you guys something. I have an iPhone. I know this is going to be crazy. Get ready.
All right.
Get ready. You see this? All of my photos are fucking geotagged.
Oh yeah, you were seeing a stripper in Denver. I see that.
So what does that mean? If you're a technician out in the field, you got your Google business profile, upload a photo. Guess what? It's got work that you're doing, where you did it, and you don't need to fucking, change the title. Most of the images say, whatever I think the image file is like HCIC for Apple, iPhones. Just keep the file name as it is. You don't change the title. The most important thing, you're just uploading your work, getting photos done. Those photos are geotagged automatically where you're at. If you want to spend some time to get some of those photos for your website, then yeah, maybe that'll be helpful. But at the end of the day, you're uploading, you're keeping your business profile active. This is called the GBP Row Show. I know it sounds crazy, but you don't need to do that. So
I don't need a tool to do
You don't. This is your tool.
What about Androids? Everyone shows iPhones, but I mean, what about Android?
I'm pretty sure Android. So I have an Android for my business.
Is this or driving directions? Getting multiple driving directions.
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Meanwhile, kids, stay tuned for the prostitution and stripper action coming up on Criminal Attorney Review.
I mean, I can add a tag, like it says add tag, so I can add something actually in that photo and upload it.
Oh, there you go. There, add your keywords there.
So I can add it in there. I can put the GPS.
This kind of goes back to like, I know like even with image SEO, you can actually edit the metadata file by right click. Well, on a PC, you You can right-click the meta file.
Yeah, you can add the exif data, but
yeah.
I mean, people say it gets stripped, but at the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily even use. I would use your cell phone for your Google Business photos.
Yep.
Especially if you're like a one-man band, out in the field. That's just the best way to do it. You don't need to spend time. Just take a bunch of photos of. I used to literally document and upload every single job I went on when I had the locksmith company. Mm-hmm. Every single job it was like uploading photos, or I made a new key for a customer for their card. I'd have a picture of them holding the car keys, and those are all real photos. So I'm not spending time going home. Oh crap! I need to make sure I change the file names in these photos before I upload. Like I'm not going to fucking spend extra time.
And if one thing I did was I hired someone like in a local region, like I have a client out in Portland, Vancouver, and I just hired someone to take photos of the office and things around with their phone. So it was like, 'cause my client didn't want to do it. And I'm like, all right, well, I asked them to do it, but they were just taking forever. So I was like, I just hired someone, go out there, shoot a bunch of photos around the place, anything around there, and then send me all the photos from your phone. And then I was able to kind of use that to help.
Yeah, they also have. I think they still have the program, but they used to have like a Street View program where you could do like 360 photos. Like those photographers, they're not going in and changing the title tags and alt tags and image titles. Yeah. They're just uploading the video.
If you have a 360 phone, a camera, you can take those pictures, and then when it's connected in via GPS, then they know where you're at in the business. So. You don't even need to hire a specialized photographer unless you're really doing this whole sequence.
See, that's a good point. That's why I don't think that they necessarily strip all the data, because if you go back, like you can literally go back home and then upload it, and it still recognizes where that photo was taken.
And that's actually a good side business for anyone that wants to add that to the local SEO services.
It's if you're an agency or if you're doing something, if you're a photographer, offer this as a service. It's a great thing to have in your books.
Yep. All right, let's check out reaction number video, the number 2.
For instance, let's say you have a cluster page let's say it's for cosmetic dentistry. All right, so let's remove all of this over here, and we will do, cosmetic dentistry. And we have over here, we have root canal. Over here, we have, let's say, implant. Right here, we have consultation, So we have all of these pages, but even though these pages might not rank as well, which is now usually the case, if this links to your service page, the service page.
I think they got cut off early. I think things are getting cut off early. But your service page is supposed to rank higher by looking at all those random pages.
No.
That's it. That's it.
For one thing, it's cosmetic dentistry, so you have to stay on the entity topic.
He was saying root canal.
Cosmetic dentistry, root canal.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not cosmetic dentistry.
Good call out. I didn't catch. Yeah.
No, it's fine, but it's for a user. Yes, if you come to a cosmetic service page, then I should maybe quickly be able to jump places again. Mobile, small screen, right? Give them what they want, but it's not necessarily going to help push your topical mapping. Remember, there's a relationship between your website and the Google map, but it's not like it's just magically, if you do it, it's going to happen. It doesn't work like that.
For businesses that don't know what these entities and creating these maps, what would you say the easiest way for a business to create content that's on topic, or these topic clusters?
Talk about what your customer, how they really think, right? And many times you might want to have to connect in with the technicians or even the receptionists. How do people commonly think? I have a sore tooth. I don't have a technical word, medical term for a decaying tooth, right? Therefore, it's better to just stay on what most is the common language, and then if necessary, drop in a little bit related, just so it broadens that topic. But
and also too, the best way to see it is actually we're revamping our website. You can see one of the pages if you go to gbproast.com/pest control SEO. So it's pest and -control SEO. And I actually wrote all the content that gives you some examples if you're in the pest control industry, and it gives you some different keywords to target entities and explains what those are. So if you're stuck, if you're in the pest control, in this particular case, we're talking about DUI, I'll have a page created that will show you some examples of entities that you can use.
What was it? The website again, or the URL? gbproast.com.
gbproast.com/. I'll put it in the chat. But this will just be an example. I know we're talking about DUI lure today, but this will be an example to kind of see, like, if you're in a particular niche. Like I said, we're revamping the website. We're going to have it kind of broken down by categories. So depending on what category you're in, we'll have a page dedicated to give you some examples of types of content, types of things that you want to put into your pages and your business profile.
Nice.
All right. Go ahead and check out reaction video number 3.
If you're a local business trying to get more customers, start doing this today. Take your list of all your previous clients that you've worked with in the past, and if you don't have a list of previous clients, you can do this with your friends and family as well. And then with some sort of bulk texting software, you want to send them all a Google review request with a message like this. We're doing this because the businesses that have the most positive Google reviews usually show up
doing
at the
so
top of
good.
Google Maps. Plus, if you ask your clients to include certain keywords around your niche on their Google review, it'll help you rank higher for your niche.
There you go.
No.
Gosh.
You're talking about an SMS. You were just talking about an SMS builder or whatever.
Joy is
No.
pissed off right now. She's so mad. Don't do that.
You can, if they opted into your text messaging, or they have an option to opt out. You have to be very careful with text messaging laws. So don't just start sending blasts out to 400 customers. It's better to email them, and that way you can make it a little bit more personable. But send them an email first before doing any of that, and don't send it out to your family and friends unless they've actually done business with you, because it's a dodgy area. It's gray area.
Yeah, FCC is coming down. $50,000 fines, I
Is it?
believe, is
Per
what they threatened people.
per
right?
fraction.
Yeah.
What?
So-
What? For a random text?
No, if you leave a review, that's a totally fraud, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, not necessarily the tactic of sending an SMS message.
Yes, if it's not coming from your cell phone and you're not registered to be able to do that, like, you're not going to be able to send like 30 messages like in a minute from your cell phone.
Now,
But if you're using a service, you have to have some type of opt-in to get approved to be able to do that. So, I mean,
right.
yes, send it out.
Clearly,
You're better to
gotta watch that
email it.
policy, for sure.
Yep.
Now, in the DUI attorney, very difficult to get reviews, right? So coming up, I'll talk and share a tip on how to overcome that, because you just don't want to get random friends and family, right? Hey, leave me a review. It's a slippery slope.
I wonder if that's the reason why mine GBP is like currently I don't know.
You have to also be careful too, and it's very common even in our industry. Hey Keith, can you go leave me a review?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys to leave me a review.
I know we're business partners, but hey, can we?
Hey,
Help
Jordan,
me out.
could you write up about advanced schema and use the word advanced schema and put that in my review, okay?
Yeah, only if I can
No,
post
but,
a photo.
but
of
we
my
again,
top.
like this is a perfect example. We are working together, right? I mean, isn't this something that we can write reviews for each other? We are working together.
If I am
Yes, we
aware
are. We're working together right now.
Yeah. If I am aware of your capabilities, then I should be able to share an opinion, right? And if it comes to the point where I say, Dre didn't give me money, right? Or I never gave him money, he never paid me off to leave this review, it's all opinions, right?
Yeah.
But what's Google really looking for? We stressed it a lot here on GPP Roast. A real person. They're in market. They need your service. They went, they did directions, they came into your store. You take advantage of that, right?
Also, too, people get mistaken that a review has to be transactional. Like, they have to do business with you in order for that review. Like, I had a customer leave me a 1-star review because I didn't answer my phone at like 10 o'clock at night, even though my business said 24 hours. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? But you can't remove that review. They never did business with me. However, they did interact with my business. And that's really the point of reputation, is like, hey, we live in an era, and this was 10 years ago. We live in an era. It's 2025. We were just talking about before the show how I'm building some different AI agents to do some call blasts and building answer calls and things like that. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to have some type of automated system, especially if you're like, hey, I have an emergency, I gotta get home, but I still want to make sure I'm receiving phone calls. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's FCC's coming down, SMS reviews, everything like that. So, and again, you probably won't get a review removed just because someone didn't buy from you. That's not a reason to have a review removed.
He was such a terrible driver. He cut me off on I-5. I'm going to write a bad review.
Yeah. I'm going to leave a review to the police station. I got a DUI, and that fucking police officer, I can't believe they pulled me over. Like,
I've seen like some people leave reviews for businesses where they don't have even control of like the parking sucks. Or like because it's in a public place or just too many people. I was like,
but that's why we teach, and I harp this enough. The last touch, the person is going to remember their experience overall. So even though that technician or whoever still provided the service, they're going to remember that overall experience. So even though they we're in a parking lot, they're in an area that that it's hard to find parking, whatever it is. That's also good feedback too as a business owner. You need to have that. Whether it's negative or positive, it's still feedback that you're getting.
Got it. All right, let's get into our next segment.
Jordan, we didn't talk about this. You want me to drive or what?
You could go ahead and drive this one. I do want to cover a couple of points.
No.
Actually, let me drive first, and I'll let you drive.
Bitch. Fine. That's all right.
All right. So there's a couple things I wanted to cover. So we're going to be talking about a DUI lawyer in the Denver, Colorado area. The name of the business is Gemin Criminal Defense or Gemin.
Are you sure?
I think it's Gemin. I think it's Gemin.
Gemin.
Yeah.
Come on.
Come
I
on.
actually asked AI and I asked Google, and it kept saying, Keith, you are on drugs. It's German. Like, stop asking.
I actually read that when I first saw it's German, but okay.
So I wanted to point out something that's really important, and this has to do when we had the episode when we talked about appliance repair, where if you provide a specific service like refrigeration repair, when we talked about that, because they got a lot of reviews about fixing I think it was their refrigerator or maybe their washer or dryer.
Yeah.
And they're getting a lot of work, obviously, from that particular type of service. I'm seeing this more and more where it seems like the more concentrated service that you are, the better you're off you're going to be. And in this particular case, when we talk about DUI lawyers in Denver, is you're going to find that a lot of the same kind of common patterns with the businesses that are ranking like in the top 5. You're going to see a couple things. One, the business name is related to their main service that they offer, and also the website and the content that's tied to their actual Google business profile is really geared around that particular service. Yeah. It's not always the case, but you're going to see at least some very kind of commonalities when it comes to that. And then hopefully too, I haven't looked at the reviews, but a lot of the reviews will also kind of tie into that. So in this case, if you're, this particular business is a criminal defense lawyer, but he really focuses on DUI defense. Okay. So keep that in mind when you're looking at, even in your particular markets, if you're an attorney and you just want to focus on getting DUI, cases, then you really need to make sure that that's matching what service you're providing. And this particular brand does a pretty good job of doing that, considering that are some pretty big attorney offices in here, pretty big websites, a lot of reviews. Like this example, they're focusing on criminal, but they also have DUI attorneys. So that's kind of another focus that they have. As you'll see, they're a little bit farther away from the actual centroid, so like basically the center of Denver.
Yeah.
And then kind of going into this business, they're focusing on, the main service in their business name. So they're focusing, it's Denver DUI attorney. It doesn't get any more focused than that, right?
And interesting, when you look at comments, the most used words in reviews, DUI is not one of them. So
Yeah.
the on page and possibly their marketing, that's pushing more rather than the specific reviews.
Yep. Now, also keep in mind too, there was something that was talked about. This is probably about 4 or 5 years ago. It was something called Google Justifications, and basically what those means, it's kind of like a little snippet of what the content within the search result is actually showing. And one of those is actually, you might have seen on your business profile or in the search results, it might say something like website mentions or business mentions in the services. In this particular case, you're going to see it in the reviews. Since this is the search query Denver DUI lawyer, you're going to see that a lot of these kind of justification snippets, a lot of the reviews are mentioning things like DUI, on this particular case, maybe they don't have a lot of reviews that are talking about that. But again, some of these other search results, they're kind of talking about, and Google's showing, hey, here's some reviews of people talking about their DUI lawyer experience with this particular business. So keep that in mind, that if you are focusing on DUI law, that you probably want to ask your client, say, hey, I understand that if you could please leave us a review, just mention us that you did get DUI law from us. Just it's kind of one of those kind of 3 pillars, like let us know how we did, where you did it, and like what service you got from us. So that all kind of has to tie into. So that's one thing that I can recommend to gentlemen criminal defense is maybe kind of coaching your clients when they're leaving reviews. Just, hey, if we did provide DUI defense, if you can just at least mention that in the review.
If you want to, you can open the homepage a second, and I can show where some of the headlines, H1, H2, it's all centered around DUI attorney, right? Yeah. And the city. It's interesting, if you go look at the headers, Jordan, you'll notice that clear, once again, Denver DUI attorney, we do mention his name, DUI case is listed, but then further down, the H3s and H4s, they are related to, driving under the influence or related to marijuana, right? Or some drug-induced situation. But the more criminal, wide-based criminal stuff is mentioned much further down. So if you were someone who wanted to say, well, I just don't want DUI, okay, you could take things like felony, theft, assault, domestic violence, put those more into H2s, and then help connect to those specific parts of your the inner parts of your website. But,
and also keep in mind too that we live in a world of something called NLP, which stands for natural language processing. So it's how Google disambiguates words and meanings and things like that. If you notice on the page, we typed in Denver DUI lawyer. All the content here says attorney. I don't think it even mentions lawyer in their titles. So keep that in mind too. Like, you don't necessarily need to actually have it say the actual word that you're targeting, because Google knows attorneys and lawyers.
Is it the title, or maybe
the title says DUI attorney?
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to look. I can pull up the source code and just kind of take a look and see how many times.
Oh, you know what? Mine shows that they have it listed double, DUI attorney.
Oh, double. So okay, yeah. So okay. So what it was playing on the front end. So maybe that is the case.
But to Jordan's point, though, if you look at the supporting headlines, H2s, H3s, the attorney is more prominent. They don't say lawyer.
Yeah. So attorney's there, and then looking at some of the H2s. But let me just take a look. So attorney is mentioned 40 times. Lawyer is mentioned 25 times. But and still, either way,
right?
They understand what the differences are. They understand that they are related.
Or if you were in England, what do they call it? A solicitor, right?
Solicitor. Yeah.
You're like, sir, I was on Sprague Avenue in South Denver. The drugs aren't mine. I don't know who this prostitute is. Okay, please. It's not mine. I'm sorry about that. Whatever.
Yeah.
You'll be all
And
right.
also another thing too, I want to reiterate is oftentimes you see this in a lot of law firms. They may say that they're just a law firm. I think we even kind of covered this on the personal injury.
Yeah, back with Joy last
Back
night.
with Joy. So that's another thing that's important too. DUI is all kind of covered within criminal justice. So if you're just a big law firm and you offer family law, criminal justice, immigration, like all of that, and you're like, well, I want DUI cases. Well, you might have to kind of change some things to kind of focus on being criminal justice if that's what you want to be your focus. So like a lot of the results here, like I said, there are a lot of these kind of the ones that are ranking in that top 5 to 7. They're all really focusing their content and everything around DUI lawyer. So
And
I'll
that
go
is
ahead and I'll
also,
pass the reins back to you, Keith, if you
yeah,
want to
that's
take over.
also a smart, really, I think, a smart sales position and marketing.
La 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 la, la 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 la, Lambo's World. La 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 la, la 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 la, Lambo's World.
Lambo likes his
What's going on?
cocaine, and he likes strippers too. Let's go to Denver, and we'll press the right button. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Let's go to Mobile View. Okay, I can't sing. Sorry, I know I'm getting comments. Stop singing, so I'm sorry about that. Mobile View, you know, this is just one of those issues that there are these common issues. And even though we're looking at it big screen right from desktop, your customer is on a phone. And one of the first things you look at this and you say, what is the primary offer, right? If you kind of just, you know, sit back and you squint your eyes a little bit, and what's really popping off the page? You can see the logo at the top, you see a button, you see a face, some graphics, and then the big, large headline, but the headline is not really focused on an offer. You have to scroll in and you'll finally see 100%, right? Where's it at here? Grab the red marker, da-da-da-da. Oh, shit. This should be much bigger, guys. And make it red, make it prominent, and make it that should be the button rather than the schedule online. The next thing I would do is you have this blank space up here at the top. And even though, yes, we have a phone, we have an email and the hamburger stack, this is a great place to have a sticky offer. You could also put it down here, but they have the annoying chat going on. But this is a place where, again, you could just list the phone number. You could say open 24/7, you know, with that button. Use every space, because as I scroll up and down, those things are going to go away, but that sticky offer is always there. The next thing, who the fuck are you? Right? You come on here and you're like, I guess it's Geeman, it's a unique name. It's Nicholas. Okay.
Oh, is it?
When the site first loads, and I think, let me see here. I think when the site first loads, it popped up, at least on my phone, it popped up his name. But my gosh, it's a people business. I want to know who you are so I can personally connect with you. When people hire an attorney, a female will probably hire a female, a male will hire a male, and they'll also probably hire someone that they can visually connect with, right? Could I see myself being your friend? So you've got to state your name. On the live portion too, we've got some annoying pop-ups. On the phone, it's really bad. It's not showing up here just the way this loads on the screen, but my gosh, you need to be so careful of pop-ups distracting people. So take those things down. Any of those important items, they need to be easily seen. This is so busy that, remember that the squinting technique, this is important stuff, but it gets lost in the skyline of Denver. This can also just be too much, right? So you have to have this balance of the important items, and it's okay to have a mobile version layout versus desktop. where rather than everything so small and squished in. The other big thing too is action benefit on your buttons. Does anyone really just want to schedule online, right? Well, wait, schedule what? I know like that can build anxiety because the customer may not have seen the consultation portion because you're making this button so important. So again, you would be better off saying free in-person consultation, take action, you get that benefit rather than just schedule online.
Also, too, I want to
Right?
if I can add something real quick.
No.
If
Damn
you're
it.
open 24/7 and you're going to provide service, because most DUIs happen after like 9 o'clock. I forget what the exact stats are. Like you better
2
be available.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hence why you really want to be prominent with that information, right? Or you can even you can have some sort of a graphic that's there, right? Focusing on that human connection. I already mentioned, who are you? And there's not a lot of human the human connection here, because if we look at the phone portion, we get into the form and then a lot of facts about the attorney, Nicholas. We're not really talking about how you feel of, this is a tough time for you and we're here and we can genuinely help you, and sort of, reach out with that, hand holding and the arm around them, that emotion. You want to drive that certainly first, rather than just facts, right? Because I want to emotionally connect with you first before I pick up that phone. That's all we got for Lambo's World.
Yeah, we're going to verify some GMBs right now. How we do it?
Let's go.
We're not verifying any GMBs today. We're going to be talking about your website for some things that you can do to be more transparent, especially if you're focusing on DUI law. A couple of things I wanted to share too in regards to this particular brand that we've just roasted.
Jamon.
Their site performance is really bad. They're having total index, total renders that read just under 8 seconds. That's awful.
18 seconds.
18 seconds.
8 seconds.
18. Oh wait.
Oh, largest content. Yeah.
The speed index is basically the total render time.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's that? What's 18 for those that don't know what largest
this
content?
content paint with this basically means too is because it's actually even worse because they have a lot of pop-ups and there's a lot of rendering happening. So
all that graphics, all that information.
Yeah. So a lot of if stuff a lot of times too, this site's built in WordPress. A lot of times, depending on the builder, you'll see things kind of roll in because they're using different block builders. Just on this alone, this is pretty bad in how it's actually being rendered. So if we kind of scroll down a little bit, scroll down, this is really bad. So it's close to
right. And Jordan's point is, these people are on a phone. It's 6 a.m. They're at the hotel. They have a hangover. They got a ticket. And if there's any delay in loading, Google's like, we're not going to rank you. We're going to rank these other faster websites.
So this is pretty bad. So they're, this is also a security risk too. You don't want to do anything like this by loading photos. This is the agency that's handling this. Don't do this. So just FYI.
You're calling out the agency now.
Do not.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are
Yeah.
you sure? Because I thought I saw some other. Maybe I. Anyways, continue.
So when we kind of look at our overall site, I just throw up a quick DUI lawyer, kind of going back to what we teach. We teach, using GeoHubs. This particular page, for example, would be tied into your Google business profile. You have a list of all the cities that you're servicing. I happen to have just kind of little interactive map here that you could use. But kind of going down, the couple of the biggest things that I look at for any website, you hear me talk about this a lot. I talk about transparency. It's not about being honest. It's about being transparent. And that means, going into a criminal defense, as a client, I want to know, what can I expect this to really cost? I mean, this is probably an initial consultation. You may have additional, line items on here, but I want to know. I also want to know your process. I want to know what to expect. If someone got pulled over, what can happen based on the laws in Colorado. So, criminal charges says don't wait for business hours where you're facing DUI, arrest, endeavored, drug charges in Aurora, domestic violence, things like that. But, it's kind of giving me a general, idea of what's happening. I also mentioned some like criminal cases we have handled. So yeah, I talk about college students, things like that, but this could be an opportunity where you could kind of throw in some like college names in there, suburbs, maybe popular hotels. So a lot of the criminal stats by state, a lot of that is public record. So they get the stats of knowing like, arrests that happened downtown, arrests that happened after going to a Broncos game. So they have all that data that you can actually put directly in here. Another thing
you have like a parent who is in Houston and their child is going to the university and they're searching, and what do they want to see? They want to see that you've helped someone that went to the Denver Bronco game, right? It's again, you making the connection, not only based on keyword, but based on things that you definitely have done and the visual.
And I think too, even like just kind of knowing the general process, if you can have this website kind of going back to, I consider that this be kind of more of the helpful content update that happened a couple years ago. This is information that someone would want to at least kind of know what they're looking at when they get their first DUI, up to 1 year, license suspension 9 months, fines up to $1,000. I don't know if these numbers are 100% accurate, but these are types of information that you can put in here, right?
No,
kind of what to
consequences
expect.
Again, that raises the emotion. Hey, if you don't do something, you could be having a stiff fine or jail.
And this is kind of building that urgency, like you better hire an attorney, because if not, you're going to be kind of SOL, right? Frequently asked questions, these are just maybe common things that you can put in here that have come up in previous cases, that, questions that people have asked. I noticed that on that other site, they actually had like a chat box where people can ask questions. I mean, I would collect that data and put everything into like a repository and be like, hey, here's all the questions that people have answered, and here's the answers, right? Because you're not giving away anything by just answering people's questions, especially for free, because if you're giving all of this value, they know that at some point they're probably going to need a lawyer. But by the fact that you providing all this information, you're not really losing any money. They could go the pro bono route, but more than likely they're not going to get any help done.
They're staying on the page. They're going deeper. They're going into a second click, a third click. And again, you're giving them every little micro yes. They're this much closer to booking that consultation.
Yeah, and then kind of a little bit about you. Obviously, you're going to be licensed, so these are kind of obvious things, but consumers still like to see that. It's still kind of a safety net for them. And then our client commitments, like this is our promise to you. Your first initial, consultation is free, transparent pricing. Like we're not going to give any hidden fees or anything like that. And then we're going to be, facing that with you. One thing too is that in addition to something like this, there are a couple of like lawyer assistance programs that a lot of people aren't aware of. I used to work in a benefits department for a large insurance broker where we actually communicated health benefits for like large companies. And one of the services that a lot of companies offer is like a free legal assistance program. So I would even use something like that. If you work with a major employer, I would even check to see what type of assistance they have to kind of help you pay for, your lawyer fees. So as much information that you can give someone, it's going to be really helpful in the end. And then obviously you want to have some type of, case review, something that they can email you, and then just a direct call to action. So this page is really kind of encompassing, all the information that someone may want to look for. You have all that information on the page. But a lot of these also too, these are also tied into different entities, different things that someone could actually be searching for. I need a DUI lawyer near, this particular university,
Right.
near the Bronco Stadium, near a particular hotel. So it's kind of just encompassing everything that you have. The reason why I have this section in here is because kind of if you take a look at the Movera update, the recent update that happens, it's kind of encompassing kind of what the page and what the overall feeling is about. And this is kind of like, like think about it almost like the problem that you're solving. So this is why I have this particular type of content in here. And that's all I
got a
got.
comment from the audience. Matthew's asking, I know you're against schema, but what about FAQ schema?
I don't do FAQ schema personally because sometimes it just doesn't even show. I don't add anything extra where something couldn't happen.
You can put it on there, but basically what we're finding is that Google has sort of deprecated that. So you're spending extra time that you really don't need.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's more for you guys like mentioning as rich snippets, but FAQ schema can also, benefit other things other than just like having a snippet on the FAQs.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's more about what's going to happen when the user lands there because, Google knows exactly, they have all that data anyways. If they're using Chrome, they're recording your sessions anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But if you want to have an extra snippet that kind of just stand out in the SERPs, just know that it's not always going to show. So I don't use any schema. I don't do anything. A lot of times too, like the site links that you'll see in the SERP results, those are actually tied into your interlinking and things like that. So you don't even need to add any type of extra code. Google does a pretty good job. I mean, they're not perfect, but they do a pretty good job of kind of, going through your content and kind of understanding a little bit. That's why they have NLP. NLP is there for a reason for them to be able to understand.
All right.
Yeah, good question.
All right, guys. Any updates from you guys? What are you guys doing?
I don't think the Facebook.
Yeah, I know the Facebook didn't work, guys. And after this, let's log off and fix that and try to make sure the Facebook is going. But hopefully, guys, if you guys are watching on Facebook, you're not watching on Facebook, but if you're on Facebook, hopefully we can start live streaming on Facebook.
Yeah, probably one announcement that I'll make is our Trident Rank method. It's closed for new members, but we are going to be launching some kind of little small mini videos that you guys can buy individually. Like we have one on there about traffic, sending traffic to your Google business.
Yeah, I show you how to hack a chamber, which is really powerful.
So we're still going to continue that. Just know that.
Commerce?
What's that?
Chamber of Commerce? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Hack a chamber?
So we're going to have these kind of little mini video series that you'll be able to purchase separately. We're just not having any support, but most of them are all like one video. So they just go in there, learn about it over the shoulder, and then take it as you will. So.
All right, there you go. And guys, I just released more tactics on the AEO.so, AEO.so. Answer engine optimization. If you want to learn it, check it out, AEO.so. Till next time, we will see you guys next week.
Hey, GBP roast, GBP roast. Sorry, you in danger. Right now, I gotta flame you. This is GBP roast.
What? GBP roast. GBP
For some reason, I don't know why, but hey, I'm gonna stop. I wish live.
Everyone have a great day. Bye. No.